All right, friends, inside this video topic, again we'll discuss the conversion concept, and that is this time we have to convert our authentication page, that is login and sign up HTML layout to our authentication React component. Let's go back to editor. So far inside this course, we had done lots of layout conversions, and inside last video topic, also we had done the conversion of my account layout. Now this time we have to go and convert our last layout of this headless store, and that is our authentication page, which is going to contain two sections like a login layout and sign up layout. So to create that layout, I will go into src folder, then we have to go into pages folder, and then I will open this auth.jsx. Now inside this auth component, right here we can see only we have a h1 tag with a static message. Let's go back to browser. Then I will go to this GitHub repository called github.com/owthub. Click on repositories. Then I will go and click over this headless store HTML files. And here, if I scroll, we can see a file called login.html. Now, the name itself clears that it is login.html, but in this space, also we can see a code of registration. We can see that login and sign up. So this is the section of login. But if I scroll, now here we have one more section inside this HTML layout, and that is of sign up. So simply, let's click on this copy button to copy all the code copied, get back to editor, and inside here, instead of using this h1 tag, let's remove and paste this HTML code. Now, next after this, let's do some formatting. So let's go at the top, and here, if I close this div, let's do some formatting of this HTML. Now it's okay. So if I go and open this div class row, now you can see that here we have a login form. This is inside this call MD6, and here we have one more call MD6, and it is containing a sign up form. It means that by using this auth component, here we have the two layout. Either the user will be login from this login form, or the user can sign up from this sign up form. So let's use the concept of states management to handle this login form as well as this sign up form. But first thing first, let's go and replace this class keyword with the class name keyword. So simply I will copy Control H, and I want to replace with this class name keyword. Let's click on this button. So successfully we have replaced all the occurrences of class keyword with the class name. Also, let's check for the for attribute, and here we have the for attribute. So this attribute also must be replaced with HTML4 attribute. So let's copy this for equals to double quotes, and I want to replace with this HTML4, and successfully the for attribute of this component file now replaced with HTML4 attribute. Save all these changes. Let's close this login form, and here we have the sign up form. Save this component file. Let's go back to browser. Go and click over this login and sign up. And now we can see that inside this auth component, we have two sections. Like here we have the login section, which is containing two input fields like username and password. And here we have one more section called sign up. And inside this section, look at here about the input fields called name, email, username, and password. So this is login into this headless store, and this is to create a fresh account to this headless store. Now let's use the concept of a states manager so that by using a states management of React, we can go and handle this form submission like login form submission as well as the sign up form submission. Let's go back to editor. Then I will go at the top of this file, and here let's say const login data. Let's say set login data equals to use state, and initially it will contain an object, and inside this login form we have the fields of username and password. So it means inside this login data we want to store only two properties called username, which is initially blank value, and the password field. Now next, also we want one more states manager, and that is for the sign up form. So here it will be sign up data. Let's say set sign up data, and to the sign up data, so it will be user state, and inside this user state, if I go to the sign up form, so we can see that here we have the field of name, email, username, and password. So it means inside the sign up data, our state variable, the property will be for name, which is initially empty. Then we have email, which is empty. Then for the username, empty, and password. So successfully, we initialized all about the properties of login form as well as sign up form. Now next after this, let's scroll down. First, I will go and handle our login form. So here inside this login form, you can see that here we have the first input for username. So I will remove first this ID attribute. Then I will add here, let's say name. And inside this name, I will call it as username. And one more thing, this username belongs to this login form. So let's add one more prefix and I will call it as login underscore username. And once we add this prefix, let's go here and we have to update, let's say login underscore username. And also for this password, login underscore password. And for this user state, for the sign up data, let's add a prefix called sign up underscore name. And here, sign up email, sign up username, and sign up underscore password. Let's go and to this login form. And here we have the username. So name is okay now. So value, inside this value, it will be login data dot login username. So in the same way, if I go for the password, so here, first I will remove this ID attribute, then here, name equals to, let's say, login underscore password. And here, let's say value, login data dot login underscore password. And one more thing, I want to bind with this login form inputs like for this email, like for this username and password. So here it will be, let's say on change, let's say handle on change login form data. So simply, let's copy this on change and put here inside this password as well. Let's copy this function name. Then I will go at the top of this file and here let's say const. And before that, let's add a comment that is on change event for login form. And here let's say const event handler name. Let's pass event object. And here let's say const name value and equals to event dot target. Remember the same piece of code what basically we did remember inside our checkout component. Then after here, let's say set login data and inside this, let's pass our previous form data. So prev form data, arrow function, parenthesis, curly pairs and inside it, let's get our previous form data. Then after, let's say square bracket, name and value. So successfully, whenever if I do any entry inside our login form inputs, all those values automatically gets stored inside this login data, which is a state variable. Now, then after that, let's go inside this form tag of this login form and here it's on submit. It will be, let's say handle login form submit. So simply, let's copy this event handler name and here, let's say form submit or even I'll call it as, let's say login form submit. Let's say const function name event object. Then here, let's event dot prevent default first, prevent default. Then after, let's for the time being, if I type console.log, let's say login data. And here, I want to clear the login form after clicking on the submit button of login form. So here, let's say set login data. And inside here, let's pass object. Let's call it as login username. We'll have the empty value. Login password will have the empty value. So successfully, this is all about the handling of on change and the submit event functions of login form. Let's go back to browser and do one more testing. Let's go and reload, inspect here, go to console tab. Now next after this, what I will do, I will do some entry over this login fields like for the username and for the password. Let's press any value inside this username And okay, here we have some errors. So this error basically generated whenever if I try to input the value inside this username. Let's type for this password, and again here we have some error, and this error is coming from this event.target. Okay, actually here we have the mistake. Let's go back to editor. Actually we have to destructure. So instead of using this array format, it will be curly pairs. So name and value. Save these changes. Let's go back to browser. Let's reload one more time. Go to console tab, no error. Now let's pass some value. And as we can see, no error. So successfully, I'm able to pass this username and password. Let's click on this login button. And now we can see that form is empty. But here we have an object which is containing the username and the password value. So successfully now we have handled the login form of this authentication. Now let's start with the sign up functionality. Let's go to VS Code, and here I'll close first this call MD6. Then I'll go to the second call MD6 of the sign up form, and here let's remove this ID. Then after let's say name attribute, and here I'll call it as sign up underscore, let's say name. Then I will go and add, let's say value attribute, and here it will be sign up data dot. Here we have the sign up underscore name. Next, after this, I will add one more attribute inside this input field for sign up form, and that is very important called on change. And here, let's say handle on change sign up form data. Now next I will copy these three attributes from this name field. Let's scroll down for this email. I will remove this ID attribute, put it here. Now this is sign up underscore email. And one more thing, the name attribute we are keeping as same as is what we have inside this use state all about the property name. So here sign up email. So that's why our name attribute for this email field is equals to sign up underscore email. And here the value equals to sign up data dot sign up underscore email. We have the same function for this on change. Let's copy, go for the username. I'll remove this ID, put here. So this is sign up underscore username. Then here we have sign up data dot sign up username. We have the same function on change. Let's copy these three attributes, go inside password, remove this ID, and here it will be sign up underscore password, sign up data dot sign up underscore password. Now let's copy this handle on change sign up form data, go at the top of this file. After this login form submit, let's add this is sign up form on change event, and here let's say const event handler name, it's event object arrow function. Let's say const. Instead of using square brackets, I'll use curly pairs because we have to destructure. So name value equals to event dot target. Then after let's say set sign up data, and here I have to first get our previous data. So it will be let's say previous form data arrow function, and here parenthesis curly pairs, it's a three dot, and here previous form data, it will be called name colon and email. So successfully whenever if I try to input any value inside our fields of sign up form, all those values automatically gets stored inside these properties of sign up data. Let's handle our submit function of sign up form. So here we have this form tag of sign up. Let's add on submit. Let's call it as handle sign up form submit. Let's copy this event handler name. Go at the top here. Let's say handle sign up form submit. Then after let's say const event handler name event object arrow function, and then after first thing first, event dot, let's say event dot prevent default. Then after I want to print only the value inside console tag. So here let's say sign up data, and I want like after click on submit, also I want like the form should be submitted and all those fields gets blank. So simply let's copy this property object with empty values, and here let's set sign up data, and inside this let's pass this object with empty values. Save these changes. Let's go back to browser. Let's reload. First, I will go and put some values inside this login form. Click on login. It is working. There is no data, but here we have the complete data. Let's go inside the sign up form. So I am passing some values, and here I try to pass the values, and automatically it has gone some error. So email is not defined, and it is coming from this. Okay, actually, this is not email. This is value, and here we have the value. Save these changes. So if I go, let's reload, go to console tab, let's pass some value. So name here, email, username, and password. Click on sign up. Form has been reset. It means there is no value inside this form. But look at here, inside this object, we have all those values. What basically we can send by using WordPress APIs to create this user inside WordPress database. Now successfully, if we include this video topic, so here we have the complete layout structure of this headless store. So we can see that inside this authentication component, here we have two sections, that is login form and sign up form. So for example, if any user will register themselves to this headless store, so simply they have to pass like the name, email, username, and password. So by getting all this data by using WordPress APIs, this user will register into a WordPress database. Then after, if we proceed with this login form, so the same user or any user of this header store will pass the username and password. So after successful login, we have to fetch some personal information using WordPress APIs to this my account component file. We can see that here we have the personal information of user like name, email, and the username. So this is the overflow of this login sign up and my account page. And if you're talking about the e-commerce type, so here we have the product listing, which will come from WooCommerce APIs. So whenever if I go click on this product title, it will list the single product details, and obviously it will comes from WooCommerce APIs. And whenever if I try to add all these products to my cart, so in that case this cart page will gets updated with the updated data. And next after this, if suppose I want to buy all these products of my cart, so simply click on this checkout, and by filling all these address parameters, if I pass, so automatically by using WooCommerce APIs, we have to send this address data with product data to WordPress database. And once order will complete all those data, we get inside my orders. And if I want to get some detail, click on this view button, and it will display all the information inside this model. So successfully, now we can see that here we have the complete layout structure, what basically we have completed up to this video topic of this headless store. So for this interesting video, interesting course, please hit the like button to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Now let's meet to our next amazing video. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.